What's up, y'all? BK back here with another paddle review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Holbrook Power Pro series. Now, Holbrook is a family-owned company based out of Utah that makes paddles all the way from beginners to pro-level players. They have players like Martin Emmerich and Tammy Emmerich playing with their paddles, as well as up-and-comers like Brooke Revelta. They use the paddles on the pro scene. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what this paddle does well, who it would suit, and why you should get your hands on one of these Power Pro paddles. Let's do it. Now, the specs of the Power Pro paddle are very standard to a lot of the pro paddles that we see on the market. The weight comes in at about 7.7 to 8 ounces. The dimensions of the paddle are 16.5 inches in length and 7.5 inches in width. The grip is a 5.5 inch grip length, and the circumference of the grip is 4.25 inches. Again, very standard in terms of dimension. Face does come with a unidirectional T700 carbon fiber. The core comes with a unibody Edgecraft foam injected polypropylene. Now, the beauty of this paddle is that it comes in 3 different core thicknesses. This paddle comes in a 12mm, 14mm, and a 16mm version. Each of those suit a particular type of player, and we're going to dive into what paddle is good for you and your particular style of game, and which version of this paddle you should get your hands on. The paddle also comes in a short handle version called the Power Pro E, and the Power Pro E has a handle length of 5.25 inch compared to the 5.5 inch on the regular Power Pro series. So if you are someone that likes a shorter handle and a bigger face, for a lot of those one-handed players that like a lot of rolls, similar to the Tyson McGuffin style of game, where he has that short handle Magnus paddle, the Power Pro E is very similar to that shape. Now, the biggest thing for me with this paddle was the shape of the paddle. I think the shape of the paddle, again, it is very standard, but because they come in 3 different core thicknesses, it does allow you a lot of variety with your game style. If you are someone that's looking for a little bit more control, go towards the 16mm core. If you like a good balanced game like I do, I have the 14mm that I've been using. And if you are more of a power player looking to replace one of your Gen 3s that just got banned, go ahead and try the 12mm that allows you a lot of power. The other very interesting thing with this paddle is that the shape of the grip is fairly rectangular. So if you are a player that has a continental grip when you play pickleball, this paddle is perfect for your game style because it allows you to perfectly position your hands in the continental style because of the way the handle is designed. So for all my players out there that have a continental grip while playing pickleball, or are even looking to transition to more of a continental grip, like a lot of those intermediate players looking to get their game to the advanced level, the continental grip, it's the classic standard grip, and this paddle allows you to really use that grip to the best of its ability. Apart from that, those of you that also like a V grip, where you choke up on the paddle and have a lot of that control-based table tennis style of play, this paddle also allows you to do that really well because, again, the handle is fairly rectangular, which is, again, similar to a table tennis paddle, and it allows you to really have that V grip in the perfect position every time. So everybody that likes a continental grip on their game style as well as a V grip like that table tennis style, the Holbrook Power Pro series is perfect for you. Now, diving into the pop of this paddle, the shape of this paddle again determines what level of pop you get. The 12mm, of course, has the highest pop out of all 3 different versions. So if you're looking for a lot of pop on your paddle, definitely go check out the 12mm version. On my 14mm version, I still got very good pop off of the surface in those hands battles and counter situations. So the 14mm, for those of you that can generate your own power and are simply looking for a paddle that's going to allow you to do the job without having to rely on just pure paddle pop for your counters, the 14mm I think is the best version of the 3. If you're someone that generates a lot of power on your own, then definitely go check out the 16mm. It allows you a lot of control, and since you can generate the power, you don't need the core thickness to give you the ability to do that. Now, the other thing that I really like about this paddle was the spin. Paddle really allows you to shape the ball extremely well, especially when you're in those topspin situations trying to take balls out of the air. The 5.5-inch handle along with the long face allowed me to reach in and roll a lot of balls and get a lot of dinks out of the air while giving me the spin to control that ball and keep it down. So because of the shape of the paddle, as well as the spin that you get off the unidirectional carbon fiber face, this paddle does a really good job of allowing you to take a lot of balls out of the air that I think is definitely an advantage in today's style of pickleball. Apart from that, it also allowed me really good spin on the slices, as you can see right here. I was able to generate a lot of spin from the baseline on those slices and topspin drives. Definitely something to take note of with this paddle. It does have extremely high spin rate. If you are a player that loves to ball manipulate and shape the ball with spin, go check out the Power Pro. I think it's a fantastic paddle for that. Now, as far as the power of the paddle goes, again, very similar to the Pop. If you're looking for a more power style of game, the 12mm version is definitely the best for that. Allows you a lot of power, and the paddle can generate a lot of power behind your drives. I again used the 14mm version, which still allowed me a lot of power while still maintaining the control that I need for my drop shots and my reset shots. So as someone that prefers more of a balanced style, the 14mm did give me enough power, but again, I'm not gonna blow through people with the 14 or the 16mm versions. That's definitely not the intention of those paddles. However, because the paddle does come in a 12mm, if you're looking for a lot of power, 12mm does give you a lot of juice. Now, the feel of the paddle is where it took me a little bit of time to adjust to the paddle. I definitely wasn't used to how this paddle felt. It's got a little bit of a stiffer feeling on your shots. So for someone that likes to play a very control-based game, it took me about a week of playing with the paddle to really hone in the touch of the paddle and get my drops and my resets to consistently fall. But once I did get used to it, the more harsh feeling of the paddle with the rebound on the paddle surface, it did give me a lot of comfort once I was able to figure it out. But again, it's not a paddle where you could take it out and immediately feel the control on the paddle. It does take some time getting used to. If you are going with the 12mm, it will be a lot harder for you to control that ball. So if you're someone that likes to play a control style of game, go get the 16mm. I think the 16 allows a lot of control when I hit with it. The 14 is a little bit of a mixed bag sometimes, especially because I felt that the sweet spot wasn't as big as I was used to with some of the other paddles I play with. If you're looking for more of a control style of game though, the 16 does have a really good sweet spot. I felt the 14 and the 12 just didn't have as much in terms of sweet spot that I would like. But again, the trade-off with the counter speed and the pop of the paddle was definitely worth it for those hands battle exchanges. Now, if you're someone that likes to play with an Eastern grip or a semi-Western grip, this paddle is a little harder to play with because of the shape of the grip. So if you're someone that uses an Eastern grip or a semi-Western grip, there are some other paddles out there that have a rounder handle that might be better for you, such as the Cliff Pickleball Vorus that allows you a lot of control with that one. Or you could look at some of the hybrid shaped paddles like the Standout or the Volare that have a little bit more forgiveness on the handle for those players using an Eastern or semi-Western grip. However, for again, continental grips, the Holbrook is the perfect paddle in terms of the way the grip is shaped. Allows you to constantly hold that continental grip perfectly every time, no issues there whatsoever. This paddle does come on the pricier side at $219.99. However, you can use the code BK15 to get this paddle for $176, and at that price for a premium paddle, I think it's really good value for money. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, make sure to subscribe below to my channel for more pickleball content and comment below what other paddles you'd like to see me review. Until next time, I'll see you later.